Yo, 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 what is up, party people? It's your boy Mutt-Man, and I've got some work to do. People have people been backing us on our Indiegogo campaign, and so now I got to get my butt to work. This thing's got to get ready. So hopefully you can see my screen. I'm just going to be inking for a little bit and just chatting. If somebody shows up in the chat, I'll talk a little bit more about what you want to talk about. But if not, I'm just going to gab for a minute and, just do a little inking here. So what you got here is basically page 1 of Hero Blood of Patriots. It's picking right up where we left off in the 0 issue. So right here. What I like to do, as I talked about on my last video, is do really loose thumbnails, loose pencils, and then just kind of come in and do my rendering in the inking stage. And that's one of the beauties of digital, working digitally, is that you can be real free when it comes to ink. Because if something messes up, obviously you can, like I just messed up. I didn't make my layer. All right, so make my layer. Come back in here and reduce the opacity of this layer. Hey, what up, Tyler? How you doing, man? Good to see you on there. Everything going well in your world, I hope. I'm just on here doing a little inking, brother. If you guys don't know, and if someone else is watching this video, go check out Tyler Carpenter. He's got a really great YouTube channel called Draw and Talk. I think the show that primarily he does is called Draw and Talk. So me and Macho Dan were on there with him, and it was a lot of fun. I had a good conversation. And, get the opacity right here. Here we go. Yeah, I had a really good conversation just about marketing and how difficult it is. And you know what? This is a big part of it. Just trying to get this YouTube channel, get some subscribers here, people that are interested in what I'm doing. We're in building mode. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess them layers up, Tyler. I am going to get them just right. I have done that so many times. I don't know if you well, you work digitally, but I think you like working traditionally. But yeah, messing those layers up will result in a very discouraging situation sometimes. You do have to get it right. This character I'm drawing right now is called, his name is Boone. And Boone is a close confidant to Dr. Leof Kruppen. And Dr. Leof Kruppen is the inventor of the Kruppen formula. The Kruppen formula is the formula that brings that causes cell regeneration and reanimation in the corpses when they come back to life. So part of what HIRO is a formula, kind of like Dr. Frankenstein style, mad scientist style stuff. But then the other aspect of it is more like AI, and that's where Dr. Perez comes in. So the two of them together is how we get a HIRO unit. The Boone here is he's got a backstory like I'll just describe it like Macho Dan describes it. Boone he's a street kid. He's a ghetto kid. He grew up rough on the streets of Detroit. Tough childhood. Single mom situation, but he decided to use some of the street smarts and experience that he gained growing up like that and put that to good use. And so he became a personal bodyguard and worked in security. And that's how he got met up with Dr. Leof Kruppen, because he became Dr. He was assigned to Dr. Kruppen as a special bodyguard. And so he drives Dr. Kruppen around, and he kind of is with him a lot of the time. And so they have formed this really strong bond. Hey, Lewis, how you doing, man? Good to see you on here. Appreciate you stopping by. Lewis has a great YouTube channel, and you guys check that out. And I'm trying to get on there at some point, Lewis. I can't remember where we left off, but definitely want to get on there and talk to you at some point. Yeah, so Boone, because of his, he is what I would describe as a fiercely loyal person, and because Dr. Kruppen has been a true friend to him, his code of ethics is that he will, you know, stay with Dr. Kruppen and protect him and be his friend until the end. And so Boone is a character that I would akin to being kind of like a Chewbacca. You know, he is a big, strong, powerful guy, and he is very loyal. That's his main characteristic is loyal friend. So what happens in this scene is Dr. Kruppen, who really kind of sort of like Han Solo, kind of abuses the loyalty of his friend. Dr. Kruppen is he is geared toward results and achievement. And Boone, who's always there to help, kind of gets put in these situations where you know, he's got to give Dr. Kruppen a little bit more help than he would actually like to. So in this scene, he's kind of in a situation he doesn't want to be in, and he's just basically saying, "Doc, are we sure about this?" Then you'll see on the next page like what he's what he's involved in and he's not. I'll just tell you, he's holding down the legs of the next hero. Basically, they're going to do kind of a outside the lab, at home experiment, and he's in a precarious situation he doesn't want to be in right here. Yeah. Sometimes I'll just do the eyes like I want to, and then I'll kind of come back to them, because a lot of times the eyes are sort of everything when it comes to doing faces. So I like to get them in place and get my eyeballs kind of pointed in the general direction, and then I'll kind of come back and render that up in a way that's a little bit more realistic. Because eyes are one of those things you just can't mess up. You have to be able to. You have to have the eyes looking and expressing the right way. Yeah. So yeah, this will be a 48-page comic book. So this is not going to be a small task. I'm going to do 48 of these pages. I'm working through the first page right now, and I'm going to do my best to produce pages as well as sketches, because we have a sketch tier that I have to keep up with, and um, any other kind of promotional art that I got to keep up with doing too. So this is no small task to get the production ready, and we're funding, so everything depends on the success of the funding. So we are in sale mode right now, and of course I'll get into production mode um, whenever the funding is ended. But I figured the best thing to do would just be to get a good head start on everything and just get in here and start putting down lines, and people can see what it looks like, what it's going to be. Boone has a really interesting part to play in our story, and without spoiling anything, I just want to say that he is a lot more important to the story than you might originally assume. Um, uh, there's going to be moments where Boone is crucial to the way the story moves through. So he's not a throwaway character, and he's not just the bodyguard who's there for comic relief. He is he is integral in our story. He's a mama's boy, loves his mama, and talks to his mom every single day on the phone. She's still in Michigan. She hates that he's in BC, which is where he's located now. So he he just has to make sure that he talks to mom and that she knows what's going on as much as she can know what's going on. He doesn't tell her the dangerous stuff, and so he keeps that to himself. But he is a dangerous man. As much of a mama's boy as he is a dangerous man who can handle himself in a fight. He is not military though. He is just street, and so his fighting ability is all learned on the street. I'm not trying to get it perfect just yet. Just trying to get my blacks down. I try to think of digital ink um, like I think about traditional in some ways, not because I want it to necessarily look traditional, but because it just helps me think about how to do it. So I don't try to put down all my ink at one time. I kind of sporadically go back and fix it up as I need to, or remove as I need to. What I'm trying to get done over the next couple of weeks is just get as many pages done as I can. Um, we do have thumbnails completed for the first dozen or so pages. And what happens, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but what happens is Dan and I go through written story form first, and then I'll break things down into thumbnails. And then when he sees thumbnails, what he does is he starts to put dialogue down, and then I'll send him images of my pencils, the blue. I call the blue lines the pencils, and I'll send him pictures of the pencils, and then he'll start to lay out what he wants to do with dialogue. So I kind of refer to that as the Marvel method, because from what I understand, um, Stan Lee would allow the artist to put a lot of the story down in the margins of their pages and sort of create um, a lot of what happens in the story. And then Stan Lee would come back in and sort of like, in what I think is kind of a masterful way, he would kind of go through and dialogue. And he would make some changes sometimes so that if the artist got ahead of him too much, they would end up having to go back and um, change some things. But Dan and I are working a little bit closer than that. We don't have a production style like we don't have the production level that Marvel has. Obviously, we're just working on one book together, so we work pretty closely and in tandem. And he knows what's going on, and I keep him locked in pretty well on what I'm drawing and what I'm trying to do. All right, guys, I'm gonna probably jump off here in about probably get another 5 minutes or so. If you have any questions or anything that you want answered, you can ask me real quick. Um, but I've got to get some things done today with the kids, so I'm going to have to jump in just a second. I was listening to Ethan Van Sciver talk about some pages he was working on for Cyberfrog, and he was talking about this very thing where a close up of the expression of the face starting out a story is pretty strong. It's a pretty classic and strong way to do things. Um, where you see the reaction to something, but you can't see what the something is. It's kind of a way to engage your audience quick, so that they are, you know, they jump into a story like, holy moly, what's going on? Why is this guy freaking out? So that's what I'm hoping to do here. That's what we did also on our Zero issue. The first page is actually Crouppen with a very concerned look on his face, and then the next scene kicks in with the general um, berating him. So you kind of see immediately what is going on, why he looks, you know, why he's looking that way. So yeah, it's kind of how we do it. Hey, what's up, Ignition? How you doing, man? Hope everything's good in your world. I'm just over here doing a little inking on HIRO. And actually, I have to jump here in just a second because I gotta go take care of some stuff. My kids are going crazy upstairs. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but I'm gonna have to jump off and go see what's going on. But yeah, that's what's up. Hey, good. I'm glad to hear you're doing great. I don't know what you guys are experiencing today, but here today we have a beautiful fall day where I'm at. So it's one of those days where you want to get out and get some things done. Get that vehicle cleaned up, you know, those outdoor chores that you have to get done, that kind of thing. Yeah. G Pen. I don't know. I'm using a Wacom tablet with the Wacom pen that comes with it. Got a Cintiq, Wacom Cintiq. All right, Bruce says thumbs up to the Mutt. I find it very hard to draw and stream or record at the same time. I never know what to talk about. Yeah, and you know what? It's not easy, and I'm set up bad too. Like I need to have my phone probably set up to look at the chat rather than on my screen because I have to look up from what I'm doing. So yeah, maybe what I'll do is I'll put the chat on my phone next time so I can look down at the chat while I'm drawing. Yeah, I'm not in Clip Studio. I'm in Photoshop. So yeah, I don't use the G Pen. But everybody says that Clip Studio is the way to go. So one of these days I might do it. But I'm kind of an old dog trying. I'll be learning new tricks. You know what I mean? So um, for me, it's kind of like especially to get things done. When you just go to what you know. And I know me some Photoshop, so I'm sticking with that right now. Yeah. So, are all you guys artists? If you're listening and chatting, just let me know. Are you an artist? Yes or no? I know Bruce is for sure, uh, and Lewis I know is, and I know Tyler is. What's really funny about these things, guys, is that I've just been listening to so much stuff because when you're trying to get your book funded, it's like you got to get to the right audience. And so much of what I'm reading is like, artists back other artists, but the fan base is hard to engage. And I really enjoy like the art community that I found through the Comicsgate community, and I feel like that's a really strong, very bunch of likable guys, really cool people, um, really fun folks. So I'm really fortunate and blessed to find that. But at the same time, I want to find audience. I want to find buyers, and I definitely support a lot of projects out there. And I know that some of y'all might even support my project, which I really appreciate. But you guys know what I'm saying, though. We need to find an audience outside of artists. We need to find buyers. We need to find customers. And a lot of the movement that I see in the Comicsgate style type community is artists backing other artists. Yeah, I'll come over and check you out, Ignition. I definitely will. Ignition, I do have a project campaign. It's called HIRO, Blood of Patriots. It's on Indiegogo right now. So y'all definitely check it out. Anybody that doesn't know, I am the artist on a project called HIRO Blood of Patriots. My partner is Macho Dan. He's the writer and the co-creator of our comic. It's called HIRO Blood of Patriots. It's on Indiegogo. It's live. It's funding right now. We're looking for customers. So you guys definitely share it out if you can. And, support it in any way you can. Let's see. Christopher C. says yes. That means he's an artist. That's great. Yeah, Bruce, you know what I'm talking about, right? You got to find new people. Yeah, that's what we're all up against, guys. Anybody that's got a project out, like, we can support each other as much as possible, but at the end of the day, well, we're going to have customers. I've heard I was listening to a podcast called Fan Speak. It's Comicsgate. They're talking about Comicsgate, but it's called Fan Speak, and I think they're guys that are all part of the community, and they had some interesting things to say. And I'm really interested in the customer voice right now, just so I can kind of tap into that. I'm actually working on some alternative marketing stuff right now that we haven't tried yet. So you guys will see that coming around pretty soon, and hopefully we'll be getting a little bit more engagement through that marketing style, or for the new marketing ideas. But just to kind of give you a hint as to what we're looking at, I'm trying to figure out a way to engage comic shops for Indiegogo campaigns. And what I'm trying to figure out right now is how it benefits them. Like, why would they put some information about your campaign up other than just because they like comics and create their own stuff? And that might be a good enough reason for them to do it. But if I could figure out a way to really benefit a comic shop, just for them to do something simple like share to their customers, then I think that might be a way that we could kind of incorporate more comic fans and comic consumers with what we're doing, which ultimately that is what we got to do. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to have to jump. I appreciate you spending time with me today. And yeah, I'll do this again maybe later tonight or maybe tomorrow night. But yeah, I'm trying to work it out where I can get on with Captain Cummings. Not Captain Cummings, but Captain Frugal. He's agreed to have me on. So yeah, we'll do that real soon, guys. And y'all just share my stuff, and let's keep this thing going. Appreciate y'all stopping by. I really do. Ignition, Christopher C, Bruce, Lewis, and Tyler. Appreciate you guys, and I'll be following you guys. Peace.